Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Wednesday, November 18th, moving right along in November. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Checking those boxes, getting those workouts done. We're doing pretty well over here. Got a lot of announcements this morning. First things first, let's talk about the Ordinary Half Marathon. The Ordinary Half Marathon is our new fall event that is taking the world by storm. Actually, I got to say, you guys have been doing a great job. Registrations have been picking up. Man, it's good to see, and it's some of the same old faces that I love seeing. It's just really nice to see the loyalty and the commitment to this event, which I think really just gets better and better every year that we have it. So this one in particular, the Ordinary Half, just to refresh. Now we have the Ordinary Marathon in the spring. That's our 10-day event. That's sort of our main event, our main fundraiser. Now, that event will still be happening. We've just added this event because we feel like people needed, something to celebrate, something to do. So we added this event and it's basically free. So you go to ordinarymarathon.com, you register for our spring event, and now this half event will be free. Good deal. I think it's a great deal. Now, all the shirt, if you order a shirt, if you order a medal, the personalized bib, that stuff is coming in the spring. That is all for the spring race. What do you get for the fall race? It's 3 days, November 27th through 29th. We have a lot of giveaways. We have 3 boxes of boom bars from the Gracie family. Thank you guys for donating. We have a shirt from Athena Fitness. Thanks so much, Mary Countryman, for donating the shirt. We have a gift basket from Queen Bean Coffee. And, that's always a great gift. We have, a consultation from our team dietitian, Allison Knott. That's a 1-hour consultation, which is, that's worth it. And it's definitely worth doing it if you win it. Very valuable prize. We're going to have Allison on the podcast, by the way, next week. It's time we do a little refresher. Maybe we'll do a little Thanksgiving notice. I think that's a great idea, actually. Thanksgiving podcast with Allison Knott next week. What else do we got? Is that it? Grandma Junie. Grandma Junie has a pottymouth.com. She's donated a keychain. We have two 2021 Ordinary Marathon tumbler glasses that are really, really nice. If you guys have seen the one that I have from last year, which I usually keep here on the desk, but I don't have it today. It's really nice. So we have lots of giveaways. We're going to be doing our slideshow. I know that's a big draw too. Our slideshow is awesome. Every year we do it. We'll be doing the slideshow for the Ordinary Half. The only kicker is I need help from you guys. Normally we have 10 days of running. We have lots of days to kind of gather pictures and bring them in. And then last year I even had too many, so I had to cut some of them out. So this year we only have 3 days to collect pictures, guys. So we got to take a lot of them. We got to take a lot of pictures. We got to share them on social media. And then hopefully I get enough pictures over those 3 days that we can put together that slideshow, which I think everyone loves when we finish that one. I think that's about all I have. Oh, the other thing is, guys in Boston, we talked about going out there and doing our, just running a half marathon and meeting you guys and running together. Some of you guys have already met before, but some of you would have been new, would have been fun. Boston has kind of increased their COVID guidelines and it's kind of made it a little bit more restrictive to meet like that. So it's looking like we're not going to be able to do it. I don't want to say definitely for sure we're not coming out, but I want to prepare you guys for disappointment. I'm disappointed too. I really wanted to go and meet you guys. In terms of my running, I got to tell you, I'm not in good shape to run a half. I would have done it and slogged through it. So in a way, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll just stay home, but it's not, I really would have loved to. I would have gone out and I would have gave it my all. I would have walked a little bit if I had to. And if I didn't make the full 13.1, it would have been fine. And we would have just had fun. It would have been great, but it's not looking like we're going to be able to do it this year. So I do apologize for that. What we tried to think of and what we came up with as a potential substitute is that we're going to do a Zoom meeting on Sunday, November 29th. We are going to invite anyone who signs up and registers for the Ordinary Marathon will be invited to that Zoom meeting. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear about, how you guys ran over the last 3 days, how you're dealing with the COVID thing, all those things. We're just going to sit and chat, and just sort of celebrate the finish of the Ordinary Half Marathon. And I think it's just something new and it's something good. It's something that we can kind of replace that run from Boston and getting out and meeting you guys. We can all kind of get together and talk about, our accomplishments and how we're kind of dealing with the current situation. But I think that was a good idea. I'll give Stephanie credit. I think, she came up with that idea, and I think it's going to be a good one. So give her a lot of credit. Lastly, we talked about typically when we start the Ordinary Marathon. In the last couple of years, we've done this. We do on the Thursday night before the start of the marathon, we do what's called a Midnight Madness Mile, which is at midnight on the first day of the race. So Friday morning, Thursday night, we go on the treadmill. We go out. Some of you guys went outside. I don't know how you did it. I know some of you guys went out with your dogs and stuff to make sure. But we go and run a mile. We run just to kick things off, to get things going. Now, this year, one of the things that I didn't even notice until like this morning is that if we were going to do that, Thursday night is Thanksgiving. So that presents a challenge. Now, for some of us, that just means full belly. Some of us, that means not being able to sleep. Some of it means, hey, maybe I had a couple glasses of wine too many. It's going to be hard. I think I'm going to give it a go. I'm pretty sure I'm going to give it a go. Now, some of you guys are going to be up anyway. This is the way I looked at it. Some of you guys are going to be up anyway. You're going to be online for Black Friday, right? Those stores open at midnight. Now, let me tell you something. This is what we're going to count this year. Now, I know those Walmart doors when they open, right? What is the first? They open the doors, people run. You got to go all the way back to electronics to get that big screen TV or that PlayStation or whatever it is that you're getting. So the doors open, you guys run. Here's my proposal. The doors open at midnight, start your Garmin. Run your butt to electronics, pause it, make your deal, get your stuff. If you're carrying a TV on your shoulder or carrying an Xbox in your hands, make sure you get two of them. Then start the Garmin again, get to the checkout line, and then you stop it again. Those miles will count. Those miles will count for the Ordinary Half Marathon for sure. And you'll take part in the Midnight Madness Mile. So, I don't know. I thought that was ingenious. I thought that was funny. We'll see if any of you guys actually do it. It'd be great to see you guys post those runs on Facebook. That would be hilarious. But we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to getting together, virtually and running this race in a week and a half. You can go over to ordinarymarathon.com and register for the race. It's only $10. Obviously, you're registering for the spring race, and this is just just an additional race. It's a little additional fun for you guys, and I think it's going to be a blast. What else do we do? Our Patreon account. Our Patreon's up and running. Now, one of the things that you may have noticed is on the video at the end, now we have a scroll where we're scrolling out our all of our race sponsors and things like that. And then also if you're a patron, if you go to patreon.com and you either search for Ordinary Marathoner or just go patreon.com/Ordinary Marathoner, I think it's called. I think that's the address. You can look at the different levels and you can have your name added there. And honestly, we can really use the help and the support as much as possible. We've expanded over the years. We expand these things and then we don't ever take any money in. But it would really help us out. It would really help the channel, our YouTube channel and all that good stuff. If you did that. So, and plus you'll get recognition on the podcast. And also, again, thanks Ron and Tabby Booze for really stepping up and supporting us. You guys are awesome. Last night, let's talk about last night. So we're done with the things that we need to talk about. Now we're going to kind of move forward with sort of today's topic. Now, number one, the podcast I put out last week, it got some really good reception. A lot of people reached out to me personally and talked to me about it. It was sort of a message to young athletes in times of COVID. And I think it really struck a chord with some people. And look, I hope it can motivate if it motivates one person, right? That's the cliche. It's become cliche, but it's really true. If it motivates one person to kind of just, change the path of being upset or disgusted and angry, and try to kind of channel that energy, and again, we're talking about people who've lost their sports seasons, due to the COVID virus and everything. And if it can change them to change that energy to fill that void and be productive, I think, it's all good. So anyone out there listening, again, if you've gone through that and you're looking for something new, you're looking for something to fill that void and, where sports used to be, that competitiveness and that drive and determination, discipline, all that good stuff, you can reach out to our group. You can reach out to me personally at Coach Scott at teamordinary.com. and we can chat it up, and we can talk about our sport. We can introduce you to it. We can set you on a path to try to fill that void where, that I know you're upset and pissed off that people have taken it away from you, that opportunity that people have taken away from you, that this disease is taken away from you. So reach out to me if you need it. I just wanted to mention that because I feel like we did get a lot of responses, more than normal, for that. And I don't know, I think it was important. Today's message, I want to continue on sort of. Now we've talked about accomplishment, even in last week's podcast, we talked about the accomplishment in the sense of trying to use this as an opportunity, seeing all the COVID missing races as an opportunity as opposed to a liability, as something to be sad about, something to be dejected or unmotivated. And we're talking about, again, accomplishments. So, one of the things that I've always had, I always have long-term goals. And for me, the long-term goals, if they're juicy enough, it motivates me enough to train hard and stay disciplined. That first marathon, that first Ironman, you sign up, man, and you got to go for it. You better be ready. So you got to get ready. You got to train. And it's the pressure of something new, the fear of something new that really, A, I love it. And B, it keeps me training. So, I was talking to some clients and I was talking to some friends, and we thought, especially after hearing about Angela's success in forming and going after this virtual marathon and then PRing it and crushing it, absolutely destroying her PR. Maybe one of the things that we can look at, now marathon's typically long-term goal. But one of the things that we can look at is short-term goals, short to medium-term goals. And specifically, we were talking about cycling. Cycling has been a big event for us indoors, big training for us indoors. A lot of us are on the Zwift platform, and we train on it. Obviously, we do our daily live stream in the morning. We did it this morning. So now what we decided to do was to set ourselves a short-term goal, something that we could really focus on, something that can show that our training is paying off. And what we did was, our friend Matt Shore, who's been on the podcast, he does a race on Zwift every Tuesday night. He calls it Time Trial Tuesday. We actually were going to do something similar. We never really got it off the ground. But Matt's doing it, and it's a valuable thing. So typically what he does on Tuesday, Time Trial is a race. So this race that he picked out for this week was on a course called Richmond. It's basically like in a 10 or 11 mile course. The first 3/4 of it is very flat, and you can really kind of just hammer it and go at it hard. And then the last couple miles, there's some steep hills. So it's both challenging and also it also takes discipline, because you can't go all out in the beginning, because you're going to go up against these hills, and if you went all out, you're going to destroy yourself on the hills. So what we decided to do was to take some of our athletes, and we raced it. So last night at 6:00, Mike Romans was out there. I was out there. Matt did it. And we raced it. And some of our athletes are going to be doing it. I know Ron Booz is going to be doing it in the next couple of days. Aaron Shepard's going to be doing it hopefully soon. And we're going to set a time for this. Right? So for me, I raced it last night. I almost live streamed it, by the way, and I chickened out. I did. I set up the live stream. The problem was I haven't done a race since last, I want to say April. I haven't done a race in a long, long time. And I know myself. And sometimes what happens is when I start to race, especially if I'm being live streamed and I'm being judged, I go out too hard, and I feel the pressure, and I want to perform well, and I go out too hard. And then, holding on at that point, A, you have to do it. It's not an option. But B, it made me nervous. I didn't want anyone to watch me. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like it just made me nervous. And at the very last minute, I chickened out and I didn't live stream it. So you guys didn't get to see me race, and you didn't, but I gave it all I got. And I did okay. I think my final time was like 35 minutes. But anyway, I wrote the time down. And now the goal is to train over the next 6 weeks. And then we're going to do it again. Then we're going to do the race again. And we're going to see if, all that training, as long as we train smart, and we do the work, we should have some results come January when we redo the same exact course, same exact race. So I know Mike did it. I know Matt did it. I did it. We're going to have Ron do it, and we're going to have Aaron Shepard do it. And then we'll see how the chips, how the chips fall. Come January, we're going to do it again. And we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully we improve. Hopefully improve significantly. That would be wonderful. But we'll see. We just, we want to make sure that we're training right, training smart, and getting things done. And this is a good way to do it. And you know what too, is it's motivating. So right in the back of my head now, I'm thinking, geez, every move I make, everything I do has to be geared towards this short-term goal of crushing this bike race. And improving from last time. And now the pressure's on. I thought the pressure's on with the live stream, but no, the pressure's on all the time, because every decision I make, the easiest way for me to race well in January would be to drop about 10 pounds, put out the same effort, and I will go faster. Now, Mike Romans doesn't have that option. He's pretty slim already, but I do. So it's a lot of discipline, and it's kind of like, it's honestly doing it with friends has really, and peers, whatever it is, it narrows down the focus, and it really makes you, it's going to push you. So again, we've been talking about setting goals, and typically all I talk about is these long-term goals. I never really talk about these short-term. And if I do, a lot of times I will mention short-term goals that I have, and then I don't really focus on them or get them done. So there is that chance too. I understand that. I know I talked about doing a potential ultra marathon, and then I just never really trained for it. So I never did it, because I'm not going to do a 50K if I don't train for a 50K. That's just a recipe for disaster. But here we are. We have this goal set, and now I'm doing it with friends. I'm doing it with friends that I talk to every single day, and it gets that, hopefully I'm hoping that provides that underlying sort of motivation, that push that I need to improve. And I think it will. I do think it will. So, I guess the message there is sometimes, we look at long-term goals, and we all have these long-term goals, and they're big and they're beautiful, and we go after them. But a lot of times we overlook the importance of those short-term goals. Either that, or we negate them by doing things like I do. Fully admit, things that I do, like set the short-term goals and don't embrace them over time. Right? I don't love them enough to cultivate them and go after them. And I say them because they sound nice. And then I fall on my face during training. Like when I said, potentially I might do an ultra this year. And now I didn't train for it. I didn't do it. I rode the bike. I've been riding the bike like crazy. I have not been running like crazy. It's mostly my own fault. I totally admit it. I do have time. I do have, I have the treadmill right here. So weather's not even a factor. I just don't do it. Right. And so the fact that I don't, maybe there needs to be a better way. So here we are, got a team together. We're all going for the same goal. We're going to challenge ourselves. We're going to remind ourselves that we're doing this. And it's a goal. I mean, look, it's a goal that I can embrace, because at least I know I'm doing the work on the bike. So it's going to be easier for me than saying, all right, let's do an ultra. That being said, 2021 is a big year for me. 2021, I have the long-term goals as well. I want to perform very well at my 70.3 in July. It's Ironman Muscle Man. As long as that race is going on, I want to do well at that race. I'm geared. My focus is really on that race. Now, I haven't been swimming. I haven't been running. I've been doing the bike. The bike is my major. That's my major weakness. But I still have plenty of time to build up my run, and I have plenty of time to build up the swim. I'm not too worried about that. What I wanted to do over this year, over the last 6 months, is to build up my bike, and it's happening. It's happening, and I've been disciplined doing it, and I hope to maintain that discipline going on. Therefore, that short-term goal makes a lot of sense for me. So I guess what I'm saying is this. Have your long-term goals. Mine is to perform well at the Ironman 70.3. I have another one. I've fully committed, to doing the 50K at the Marine Corps Marathon next year. So it's a 30-mile race, right? 31 miles-ish. And I've committed to doing that. I know a couple other people I've spoken to that want to do it as well. I'm doing it. My focus is on Ironman training now. My short-term focus, bike race. Medium-term goal, which is sort of medium to long-term, Ironman 70.3. Long-term goal is October of next year, Marine Corps Marathon 50K. And I think that's smart and it makes sense. And then super long-term goal is Ironman Lake Placid in 2022, which was going to be 2021, but then everything got botched up. And that's going to be my revenge race on that course where I'm going to go in there weighing sub 200 pounds. I'm going to go in there and crush those hills for once in my life. I'm upset. You know, it's funny over time. So I finished Ironman Lake Placid 2019, 17 hours, 0 minutes, 52 seconds. Those 52 seconds are bothering me now. They didn't bother me before. I'm still not bothered about my performance that day. I just want to prove to myself again that I can finish that course under 17 hours. And hopefully significantly through 17 hours, to be honest. So that's my long-term goal. Then long-term goal, 50K. Then medium-term goal, crush Ironman 70.3. Then short-term goal, improve significantly in the next month and a half in the bike race that we did last night. So when I mention all those things, it sounds like a little bit jumbled, right? But I do have a plan. There is a plan in place. There are things in place that we can do. And I think a lot of you guys, you're missing some of the plan, you know, and because that's my weakness, right? That's my weakness when I have lulls in training is that I don't have the plan and I'm missing some of those motivational steps. Now we talked about that ladder: motivation, competitiveness, camaraderie, discipline. That's the ladder for me. I didn't get this out of a textbook. I just kind of figured this out on my own after about 5 years. If I am motivated to do a race, I will train for it. I fear it. I will train for it. If I am competitive with myself, I get up and I want to ride and I want to say, hey, I did this. I want to just improve from the last time. That will motivate me. If for some reason it doesn't, well, sometimes I have to rely on my friends, and that's just another level of discipline. Before you hit discipline, sheer discipline. It's just another level of reasons to make you train, right? And if your friends are there doing it, and that's why I'm really psyched about this short-term goal, is because we have people riding almost every day, training to make better. Some of them are my clients, and you know it's up to me to make sure that they improve. And so it's great. It's along with that responsibility is I got to improve myself. So it's all great. It's all going towards that short-term goal. And if it didn't matter, if for whatever reason that team camaraderie wasn't there, then it's sheer discipline. And, you know, we were talking about this the other day. This came up, I think on one of our morning rides, which is, you know, I grew up and I have this kind of thing in my head where I'm one of those people that needs to be on time all the time. I cannot be a minute late. It drives me insane if I'm a minute late. I will get there. If I have a long drive, I will get there a half an hour early just to make sure I don't hit traffic, to make sure that I'm not a minute late. I would rather be a half hour early. So knowing that, I would make sure that I was always the first person at work. I would turn the lights on every day. I would, you know, probably could have gotten into the office about 7:30 and done my job without anyone even noticing that I got to the office at 7:30. But I would get in about 6:45 just so I could be there first. I could turn the lights on, sit at my desk, have no one bothering me, get my work done. And I tell you, that was the most productive time of the day for me. But if I didn't get there at 6:45, I'd feel bad. I'd feel late, even though there was no one there to tell me I was late. I'd feel late. So every morning I had that discipline, and it's kind of like in my soul. That's just who I am. So I don't know why I don't have the discipline to get up every single morning and get on the bike with the same feeling of I need to do it. And I've been working on that. We've been working on that now for about 14, 15 weeks with the early morning ride. And I've missed some. I've probably missed about a handful of rides, but they bother me. See what I mean about being late? The ones that I've missed, even this morning. This morning I was contemplating skipping, and I didn't. I got up and I got on, and I just made it in time, by the way. I made it by like 20 seconds. But the fact that I was so close, it bothers me. It bothers me now. But in the morning when I wake up, I'm not thinking clearly. It's got to be in your soul in order to do it. So, what is that? What's the purpose? The purpose is, what I'm saying is that discipline when all else is gone and you're not motivated and you don't feel competitive and you don't feel, and the team camaraderie isn't even doing it, right? Sometimes that happens too. Hey, you meet these people every single day. Maybe there's 5 people and you go and you meet them every single day and you roll out of bed. Hey, you know what? I can miss. There's still 4 people there. It's not like they need me. They don't need me, right? If that's gone, the last thing that you have is just pure discipline. That inner sense, that inner part of your soul that says, you know what? This is who I am. It's part of me. I need to do this. I need to be this person. It satisfies, for whatever reason, it satisfies my sense of being. I think I was always kind of had this inner sense that you wanted to be the first person at work. You wanted to be the first person. I think that stems from football. Want to be the first person in the gym. Want to be the last one to leave. That kind of thing. I was never the last one to leave, by the way, but I was always the first person there. And that I could control and that I wanted badly enough to do it. So, when you get to that level, right, those 4 levels, when you get to that level of discipline, that's who you are. And if you're the person that gets up and is disciplined enough to get up out of bed and go and ride, then you do it. And I feel like I'm slowly becoming that more and more. Because I know if I skip, it bothers me. If I skip, it bothers me. So it feels good to do it. It feels good to be on the bike at 5 a.m. It feels good to be the one that knows that, hey, by 6 a.m., I've checked the box. I'm good. I'm done. Most people aren't out of bed yet, and I've already gotten my workout in. Feels good. I like that feeling. I hope to keep having it. It's that discipline. And hopefully you combine those goals, having those goals, setting the proper goals, short-term, medium-term, long-term, long-term. Those are mine. So now I'm kind of getting it all together. I have the short-term, medium-term, long-term goals. And I have the discipline, the underlying discipline that if all else fails, I'll still be training. Hopefully that all kind of takes hold going forward. That's the plan. We'll see how it works. We'll see how it happens. And remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it, guys.